What's up, people? Jaysos here, and today I bring you Final Fantasy 15 top features. Number 1, gameplay. Final Fantasy 15 is an open world action role playing game with strategic elements. The characters have the ability to traverse environments in the free running style, which also extends to battle with larger enemies. A day-night cycle and dynamic weather system is in effect, with transient effects such as affecting the character's clothing. Also, magic will affect the environment as it's used. Markers can be placed around the environment to help with navigation. The world is a large connected landmass that can be explored on foot or by using the party's car, regalia, or chocobos that are recurring galliforms birds in the Final Fantasy series. Loading screens are only encountered when the party is entering a city or town. They can visit such locations to rest in hotels or buy equipment and ingredients for cooking during camping. The regalia can be driven by Noctis, or Ignis can take control, enabling an auto drive option. However, the auto drive is not available during nighttime. The regalia is maintained by the mechanic's character Cindy. Later in the game, the regalia can be modified to become an airship, allowing the party to fly across the world map. To ride chocobos, the player must rent them. Number 2, night and day. The night and day time system affects the appearance of monsters in the world game. One in-game day equates to 1 hour real time. Each character who do not sleep have decreased combat ability. Enemy types, numbers, and strength change depending on the time of the day. Camping during the night is necessary for characters to maintain combat performance and level up and get that sweet steak. And gather experience points earned in battle during the day are converted into new levels during camping periods. Camps from a safe haven during exploration and cooking in them using ingredients from both towns and the wilds grants characters status buffs. The buffs become weaker as time passes, with further meals needed to renew them. Once a campsite has been activated, the player can return to it at any time. Minigames such as fishing are also available. Quests can be taken from non-playable characters and bulletin boards for experience and gil, the in-game currency. Items acquired in the world through gathering or combat can also be sold at areas called gathering points. Number 3, battle system. The game's battle system, dubbed the Active Cross Battle System, is similar spin on the real-time battle systems from Kingdom Hearts series and Final Fantasy Type O. Rather than the coursing of a menu interface, the player selects commands directly mapped to buttons on the controller, such as attack, defend, magic, and item. There are also other actions such as jumping. Upon pressing the desired button, the character will then perform the desired move. Key to winning battles is said to be found on maintaining a constant and adaptable flow of appropriate actions done by both tapping and holding command buttons. The battle scenes are seamlessly integrated into the environments with no load system, which means no screens or transition from the world to the actual battle. When approaching enemies, a threat meter appears on screen. If the player does not run away at the designated time, the battle is triggered and the enemy will pursue the party. Similar to the gambit system of Final Fantasy XII, characters can move and act freely while assigned one determined action set by the player. In mid-battle, the player can pull up a menu and change the character's actions and command assigned to Noctis. Then can also quickly switch positions with a character during battle. Helpful actions by other party members such as healing are triggered contextually. In addition to this, Noctis can partner with one character or more to perform combo moves. Once the enemy or part of an enemy is targeted, pairing and blocking can be performed. but blocking uses magic power. Well, we can call it magic power. Let's go with MP. And Noctis is enabled to auto parry, which each parry needing to be matched with the enemy's attack. Noctis can also give specific commands to other party members. Number 4. Weaponry. Noctis' available weapons include swords, great swords, shields, daggers, lances, guns, and machinery, which offer various attacks and may be customized or used defensively. The player can select up to 4 weapons as Noctis' main weapons, which are displayed on screen and can be freely swapped during battle. In addition, special weapons known as Royal Arms can be collected, which can be equipped by Noctis as activated through his Limit Break Armature arsenal. A special gauge determines how long the armature can be used in battle, which can be replenished through various actions such as attacking and defending. Noctis is able to perform a warp with the distance he can travel depending on his current level. The areas he can warp to are limited, but change depending on the combat situation. In addition to the regular offensive and defensive tactics, mechas and tanks can be stolen from enemies and used against them. So basically, we get a tank and we run them over with their own crap. Hilarious. Standard difficulty settings, though, can be replaced by the ability to alter the speed and tempo of battles. Battles can either be paced for players who wish to progress with the story, or made more challenging. There is also a wait mode reminiscent of the turn-based system in previous entries, where the player can freeze time and select target of their choosing, allowing for strategizing. You're gonna strategize. Number 5. Magic. Magic is divided into 2 types. The first type, Elemency, focuses on elemental energy that can be drawn from certain locations and crafted into spells, similar to Final Fantasy VIII. These spells are stored in a quantified inventory rather than consuming MP, and must be equipped in place of a weapon to be cast in battle. The spells can also be further enhanced to grant them additional effects. The second type is Ring Magic. Can only be used by Noctis and is accessed via the Ring of the Lucille, the heirloom of the royal family. Unlike Elemency, Ring Magic requires MP to be cast. The effects of magic are dependent on the environment. For instance, when casting a fire spell on a clear day, the surrounding area will be set ablaze, meaning that it's possible to arm allies. However, if fire is cast on a rainy day, the flames will be quickly extinguished. Let's call that a fizzle. Some of the environmental effects can be used to scare enemies. Number 6. Astrals. Noctis can also call summon monsters into battle. These monsters are called Astrals and include recurring summons such as Ramu, Leviathan, and Titan. They are arranged by class and subdivided into a ranking system, with large summons like Leviathan being among the highest ranking. Before they can be used by the player, summons must either be defeated in battle or obtained in some other way. Large ones like Leviathan and Titan, however, cannot be summoned underground or in enclosed spaces. The Astrals' actions vary depending on the situation and environment, and each one also has its own conditions for it to be summoned. For instance, Leviathan can only be summoned if there is a body of water nearby. Number 7. Ascension Grid. 15's leveling system, dubbed the Ascension Grid, is a similar spin on the Sphere Grid from Final Fantasy X and the Crystarium system from Final Fantasy XIII. As in previous titles in the series, new abilities can be learned via spending ability points, APs, which are obtained either through battles or completing side quests. and shared among all 4 party members. Each character has their own skill tree, which is further divided into multiple branches, namely stats and combat. In addition, each character also has an exclusive special talent. For instance, Ignis' culinary skills, which can be leveled up over time and getting us those sweet goodies. I mean, seriously, there's like, the pictures look so good. Number 8. The World. Final Fantasy XV is one of the first mainline Final Fantasy titles to feature open world gameplay. The overworld map is massive in scale and there is no load screens to interrupt play. Think of it like a Final Fantasy version of Grand Theft Auto. In GTA 5 you can drive, walk, or run anywhere in the main game. You'll never see a loading screen. The same goes for Final Fantasy XV. You can walk, drive, or take the train anywhere in the virtual world and you will never have to deal with loading. Of course, that doesn't mean you'll be able to just go anywhere you want. There will still be restrictions in place to make sure you follow the story. This is a common practice for Final Fantasy titles and generally comes in the form of high-level monsters that block your path. You can take the risk of driving through an area with monsters much higher than your current level, but it's unlikely you'll make it far. Number 9. Cover System. If you're familiar with games like Gears of War or Uncharted, then you are familiar with the cover system. This allows you to duck behind an object to avoid taking damage from enemy fire. Final Fantasy XV will offer a similar system that goes well into the action-oriented combat in the new game. There will be various objects in the environment that allow players to take cover and replenish their health. The idea of a cover system in Final Fantasy offers a unique strategy element that isn't usually found in role-playing games. For instance, you can switch between party members on the fly, which means you can take cover as one party member, and while recovering that member's HP, you can switch to a different party member to continue the battle. This has a considerable impact on how you handle health items and healing, and how you determine your battle strategy for engaging certain enemies. Number 10. Setting. Final Fantasy XV is set on Eos, a world similar to modern-day Earth. The known land is divided between multiple nations, including Lucis, Tenebrae, Niflheim, Solheim, and Accordo. Every nation except for Niflheim once held a crystal, giving them substantial political power. But wars waged between them resulted in all but the Lucian crystal being lost. Under the protection of the crystal, Lucis develops into a society based around magic, while all the other nations have evolved into technological civilizations due to focusing on machines and weapons development. The Empire of Niflheim becomes Lucis' main enemy. By the game's beginning, the entire world, save for Lucis, has come under Niflheim's dominion. In the world of 15, there exists people gifted with the magical abilities, either through a nation's crystal or through the other means such as a near-death experience. Among these people are oracles, priestesses who can combat the plague of the stars, a supernatural phenomenon that threatens to plunge the world into eternal darkness. Number 11. Driving. When Square Enix was looking for a new direction to take the series in, one of the main features that arose was the ability to drive a vehicle throughout the entire game world. While you can walk or take the train if you don't feel like driving, the driving aspect is a big part of the Final Fantasy XV experience. In many previous Final Fantasy titles, you slowly form your party as you make your way through the game. Members of your party generally start off as strangers and become close friends by the end of your adventure. However, in Final Fantasy XV, your party consists of a group of close friends. It makes sense that these friends go on road trips, and that's exactly what the driving aspect of Final Fantasy 15 feels like. You're basically taking a road trip with friends, stopping occasionally to battle a few monsters and explore the area. It's a great new take on the RPG genre that should appeal to many fans. Number 12. Characters. The two main characters are Noctis Lucis Calum, the Crown Prince of Lucis and the sole playable character, and Lunafreya Nox Fleuret, Noctis' fiancée and an oracle from Tenebrae. Noctis is accompanied on this journey by three others: Gladiolus Amicitia, bodyguard and brother figure to Noctis; Ignis Scientia, a prodigy military tactician and childhood friend of Noctis; and Prompto Argentum, a friend of Noctis from a lower social class. I probably butchered these names, and I'm probably going to butcher the other ones that I'm going to say next, so bear with me, folks, and I apologize. Other key characters are Regis Lucius Calum, King of Lucis and Noctis' father; Colonel Leonis, a legendary warrior of Lucis who acts as a guardian to Noctis; Gentiana Lunafreya's attendant; and Iris Amitia, Gladiola's sister. Among the central antagonists are Ledalus Aldercapt, the Emperor Niflheim; Artem Isania, Aldercapt's right-hand man and Chancellor of Niflheim; General Glauca, Supreme Commander of Niflheim's military; Ravus Nox Fleuret, Lunafreya's brother and an officer in the Imperial Army; Verstael, Niflheim's head researcher; and Aranea Highwind, a mercenary dragoon in service of Niflheim. Number 13. Plot. And finally, we have the plot of the game, which goes a little something like this. Armistice is declared between Lucis and Niflheim, ending the Cold War that has raged over possession of the world's last crystal. The peace treaty is finally drawn up, and as part of the agreement, Prince Noctis is to marry the Lady Lunafreya of Tenebrae. Prior to the signing ceremony, Noctis, accompanied by his friends Gladiolus, Ignis, and Promptu, sets out for the city of Altissia, where the wedding is to take place. Shortly after their departure, however, it is revealed that the peace treaty was a ruse from Niflheim to invade Lucis and steal its crystal. In the ensuing attack, the crown city of Insomnia is laid to waste, and King Regis, Noctis, and Lunafreya are reported dead. Now on the run across the country, Noctis and his friends journey to retrieve their kingdom's crystal and defeat Niflheim's forces. And that's it for the top features of Final Fantasy 15. We have approximately 28 days until the game comes out. I hope you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more. Peace.